This week we are making blackberry and apple crumble with a homemade custard. I'm going to break this down into three elements. First of all, it's going to be the crumble topping, the nice crunchy bit that you get on top. The second part is going to be the compote, the actual fruit mix. And then the third part is going to be the custard. We might lace that with some Baileys, just to be a little bit extra, and considering it's getting close to Christmas and the weather's colder, it just seems to make sense in my head. So without further ado, let's get straight into the recipe. Place 400 grams of plain flour into a large mixing bowl along with 125 grams of each muscovado and caster sugar, 50 grams of rolled oats, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, ground cinnamon and ground nutmeg. You're going to take 125 grams of mixed nuts, roughly chop them, throw them into the flour mix and give that all a good old mix together till everything is combined. We're going to take 250 grams of fridge temperature cold butter that's been cubed up, and then we're going to rub this into the flour using our fingertips. Once that is all nice and combined, we're going to place that onto a baking sheet that's lined with greaseproof paper, and then we're going to clump this together a little bit, throw it into an oven set to 180 degrees Celsius for 4 minutes at a time. We're going to do this 3 times, and between each 4 minutes we're going to mix and agitate the crumble mix until it is looking nice and golden brown and delicious and crispy and crunchy. Now we are going to prepare our blackberry and apple compote. You're going to take 7 large Bramley apples, you're going to peel them, core them, and then we're going to dice them into roughly 1-inch cubes. You're going to do that with all the apples. It should be about 825 grams of prepared apple. After that, you're going to throw in 300 grams of blackberries, that's whole blackberries that is, along with 200 grams of caster sugar, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Give that all a nice mix together, and we're going to leave that for 10 minutes to macerate. Macerating is just going to draw some of the moisture out of the fruit. After 10 minutes, you're going to place half of the apples and blackberries into a large pan. You're going to turn that onto a medium heat, and then we're going to cover that with a lid. We're going to want to cook this for 10 minutes, and we're going to stir it every minute just to make sure nothing sticks to the pan. After 10 minutes, grab yourself a potato masher, and we're going to mash everything together. This is going to start creating the base for our compote. After everything is nice and mashed, we are going to cook this out until things are looking delicious, thick and kind of jam-like. Once that is all done, we're going to go in with the other half of our fruit. We're going to give that all a good old mix together, and then we're going to place the lid on and push that to one side for 10 to 15 minutes. Now you could dish that up as is, or we could make a Bailey's custard. So let's get straight into that. Into a medium-sized pan, you want to place 600 milliliters of whole milk. Place that onto a medium heat, and then we're going to bring this up to a simmer. While that's coming up to a simmer, we're going to prepare 100 grams of caster sugar in a bowl along with 4 whole egg yolks, just the yolks, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 tablespoon of corn flour. We're then going to give this all a nice mix together. I have tried time and time again this whisk. This is going into the bin. Onwards, let's finish making this custard. Once your milk has come up to a simmer, we're going to pour that over our egg yolks while constantly whisking it. Make sure you keep whisking it, we don't want scrambled eggs. Then you're going to throw that back into the pan and then place that on a low heat, and then we're going to constantly mix this with a spatula until it has reached a nice thick consistency. Once it's reached that nice thick consistency that kind of coats the back of a spoon, you can optionally put in some Baileys to taste, and then your custard is ready. You want to take this out of the pan while it cools down, so make sure you pour it into a mixing bowl. I just use the mixing bowl that I used to kind of mix all the eggs together, and then that is your Bailey's custard ready. Assembly couldn't be any more simple. Put a nice couple spoons of your warm compote into a bowl, and then you're going to get a nice handful of that crunchy crumble mix. Put that on top, and then after that, all you got to do is address it with that delicious Bailey's custard.
Oh, yeah, baby.
What have we done? We have the apple and blackberry compote We then have the crumble mix, which we made separately. We haven't done this like a traditional crumble where you do compote, raw crumble mix and bake it in the oven. We've done all the separate elements, so we have maximum control, and that way we get the most crunchy topping there is. And then, I mean, what's that to say about Bailey's custard? Come on, guys. You all want to get in on that. Man, the colour that's coming from those blackberries in the compote, so red and delicious.
That's incredible.
Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this week's video. If you have, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to see future content. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye bye.